It was a couple of weeks ago on this program when we talked with the outgoing and incoming president of Rice University, historic in the diversity of that choice. On that program, President David LeBron talked about changes coming also at the Kinder Institute for Urban Research, the organization that focuses on ways to build better lives for those living in our communities. And that change is also historic to lead that organization. Dr. Ruth Lopez Turley will assume the role of director this summer, moving from her role as associate director. Good morning to you, Dr. Lopez Turley, and congratulations on this new responsibility of yours. I know that
Thank you.
I tell people it's historic as well because it's the first time a woman and Latina will hold this position. I know that that's not why you were chosen, but I'm sure it's not lost on you about the uniqueness of you being in this kind of leadership, correct?
Absolutely. It's something that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud to be a Latina in a position like this. But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to the day when this is seen as normal for a Latina to be a professor and for a Latina to be a professor in a leadership position. Unfortunately, for now, this is still highly unusual. We know that, for example, nationwide, Latinas make up less than 1% of full professors. So we have a long way to go, and especially Latina professors in leadership positions like this is highly unusual, unfortunately.
My goodness, that is some groundbreaking efforts being done here on the part of Rice and on you. You've worked to get to this point. It's not something that somebody just gave to you. For those who may not know, tell our viewers a little bit about what the Kinder Institute does.
So the mission of the Kinder Institute is to build better cities and improve people's lives, specifically through data, research, engagement, and action. And that is a mission that I really believe in as a researcher myself. I specialize in education research, and I've been doing this for several decades and really, really love to do research for the purpose of improving people's lives. And unfortunately, that's the part that's actually a bit challenging among researchers because sometimes, or maybe even most of the time, research doesn't really have an impact. It doesn't get used. So what we have been focusing on and what we would like to focus on even more is to make sure that there's a direct link, a direct connection between the research that we produce and the users of that research, always aiming to improve people's lives.
And I'd imagine I work with people. I've got projects that I'm working with, some nonprofits as well. And one of the frustrations is all the work that gets done on all the stuff, all the research that gets done, and it goes into a report and it sits on a shelf, doesn't get used. So now you in the city of Houston, this city continues to be one of the fastest growing cities in the country. And along that, talk about some of the kinds of projects that the Kinder Institute has been focusing on as it relates to Houston and how some of the solutions reached in Houston not only are used in the city of Houston, but also can be used in other cities across the country, which then makes your research and the results even that much more responsible for helping the country, in fact, get better.
That's right. So in my own case, since I'm a specialist in education research, and I've been directing HERC, the Houston Education Research Consortium, which is a part of the Kinder Institute. And the work that we've been doing there has certainly had an impact on our partners. So we partner directly with Houston area school districts, 11 of them. Our original partner was HISD, and we've now expanded to 10 additional Houston area school districts. And the kinds of projects that we've been working on have focused on things like full day pre-K, school discipline, and in addition to specific interventions like that, we've also looked at macro level relationships. So for example, HISD a couple of years ago asked us to do what we're calling an equity project that looks into all the different areas of the school district, everything from facilities to curriculum to human capital, how teachers and administrators are distributed across the district, to see if that is happening in an equitable manner, meaning that those who need more get more, to try to level the playing field for our students. And so we've been working closely with the school district for quite a while now to really try to make sure that everything that they're doing is actually done in an equitable manner.
So with new leadership sometimes comes new goals. Talk about what goals you might have in mind for this organization, which has already been groundbreaking since its inception. But what kinds of things do you have in mind as you step in and take over from Mr. Fulton?
Yes, so there is a lot that the Kinder Institute has already done, as you said, that has been really great for our community, but there's a lot more that we can and should do. So for example, there's one type of research that doesn't get done nearly as much, at least in the academy, and that is solutions-focused research. Researchers are very, very good at identifying problems, and that's useful, but that's just a starting point. So we want to do a lot more solutions-focused research. That is a type of research that is actually testing solutions, testing their effectiveness, and really seeing what are the specific things that we can do to improve things like, reduce homelessness, or to improve or to reduce the education gaps among our students, and to improve the economy, to grow the economy, things like that. So we really want to do more solutions-focused research, as well as more partnership research. And that is something that we've been really developing through HERC, like I said, working directly with our school district partners, but we want to expand that all across the Institute so that all the research that we do is directly tied to the users of that research, that we jointly develop the research agenda, and that before any research project begins, we focus on, how will this research be used? What are the goals that we have? Who needs to be at the table? Right. And what is the impact that we're shooting for? So those are the things that we're going to focus on.
So I want to talk more about that, some of the partnership stuff. We'll do that in our Newsmakers Extra, okay? Because I know people are interested in this. I hope so anyway. I hope you'll do that. Congratulations on the new opportunity for leadership at Kinder. Well, let's continue our conversation on Newsmakers Extra.